Okay, this is going to be a test of my poncho. My new poncho that I just got yesterday. I'm going to go walk out in the rain and test it out. And then I'll talk about it afterwards. I was pouring like crazy a little while ago. Man, I wanted to come out here in the rain, and now it's not raining. Oh well. I'm just testing the sound, you know, when it's walking and how the wind affects it. Alright. I got my Workhose TD03 right here. Standing by this brick wall, and we're just going to test the distance. Alright, to that telephone pole. That's the maximum brightness. To that telephone pole. That's pretty good. That's that building over there. That's over 100 yards. So I got it on that neck thing, but I'm holding the body cam so it doesn't bounce around. The clip on the body cam is not nearly as strong as the clip on like the O-Light, or the O-clip. If it was that strong, it'd be great. It's pretty weak. So if you're putting it where the clip is holding it and the rest of the camera is not inside a pocket, it could fall off. With this magnetic thing, the magnet holds pretty well, but if you go to pull on the camera, like you saw in that first one that I did, it could fall off. And let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Alright, I'm going to go look at the drainage situation. It looks clogged, but it has been raining a lot. I just wanted to see it puddles up here. And if that was done properly, you know, like you take a bulldozer or a grader and you just make a nice big path to that gutter right there. What I did was, see, it's all flooded here. What I did was just get my Jeep back there and spin out, and I made two little channels. But it can't handle the deluge. All that drain off comes, all the runoff comes down here. It goes down into that. And if it gets clogged back there, that puddles up. It's a big lake. Oh well. You gotta have water. People complain when you get too much water, and they complain when they don't get enough. Everybody wants it just right. See, these sidewalks get mud The mud is the tricky part, but you're better off just walking. Not using the sidewalk unless it's dry. There's a laundry room. Swimming pool is definitely closed. They put this little mesh here to make it harder for them to stick their feet through it. And a little mechanical lock and then a chain lock up here. And you had to add metal because all they had to do was reach through. You see? Reach through this and you could hit that latch and it would undo it. Okay. This tricky part here, it's all flooded. I got my clogs on and I'm trying not to get it in water in my shoes. I got a little sprinkle here from the wind, dropping rain. Oh, we're getting some more rain now. It's coming back. So you get that sound you would get on an umbrella, you know, when rain hits. It's a poncho, so it's giving me full coverage. Now when I got it, yeah, now it's doing good. When I got the poncho, it's in this little stuff sack. And I thought, man, once it comes out of there, it's never going back in. Well, I was kind of right. I never did get it back in. Let me pull this off while we're up here. I got it in Flectarn camo. Alright, let's step out in the rain now. Now we got a good test. Raining pretty good. I don't think this body cam is waterproof. I also had to reset it today because I hit something. I went onto the voice thing only and it popped up with the blue screen, you know, with the little microphone for the voice, and it wouldn't go away. It wouldn't turn on voice recording. It wouldn't go away. The screen saver, you know, supposed to come on and turn it off after 1 minute. That didn't happen, so I had to use a little reset pin. So I located the reset hole with my reset pin in hand and stuck the reset pin in the reset hole and reset the machine. What that basically means is it worked. The screen went off. I turned it off. When I turned it back on, even the time and date stamp was correct. So, yeah. Alright, so naturally the bottom of my legs, yeah, this is where you would need gaiters with a poncho. The bottom of my legs are wet, and because I'm wearing clogs, I haven't got any water over the top, so my feet are still dry, relatively speaking. But we're having a pretty good rain. This is a good test of the poncho. Of course, my sleeves are a little bit wet. I'm going to go back in. This was enough of a test. I don't want to... Hey! Even in the rain. If it ain't raining, we ain't training. Hey, There's a big drain there is not supposed to be there. That's that guy that that's that black guy that I'll tell you a funny story about that one. When that dog came up and I had my pistol, my air pistol, he was over there. I ran up on the dog from here. I mean, literally ran. The dog was right there when I first saw him. Blue took off that way. The husky went over here, and there were cats playing over there, and it was sneaking up on him. So I ran up behind the husky while it was sneaking up on something. The hunter was being hunted, and I got right up on him over there by the picnic table, that last one, and I shot, and it went high. I missed. He started taking off, and I started chasing him. By the time I got through here, that guy was getting ready to go into his car out in the parking lot. I said, "Watch out, there's some wild dogs running around here." And he said, "Yeah, I know. They ran up on me on my porch." You know, he sits back on that porch. They ran up on me on my porch, and I ran inside to get away from them. And I said, "Well, I took a shot at him with my BB gun." And he goes, you know, casually, "Oh, you got a BB gun?" And I said, "Yeah." And I pulled it out with 2 fingers like this on the magazine only, not on the trigger, sideways, you know, to display it. So, you know, not pointing at him in any way. And he starts freaking out because it does look real. But he goes, "Sir, I know I'm a black man and you're a white man. Please don't shoot me." I said, "It's a BB gun. It's a BB gun." And I took the magazine and I pulled it out. Little BBs fell down. And he was talking to somebody on the phone. And he goes, "Hold on, hey, there's a resident here that's got a Glock." You know, and I said, "It's a BB gun," you know. And I was picking up, and his door was halfway open. He starts ducking underneath the dashboard, you know, like to protect him, like I'm going to open up on him. And I thought, you know, he's not acting like he's really scared, but he could be. And even though I've shown him the best way I can that it's not a real gun, I'd better continue on. I want to find these dogs anyway. So I walked off. I don't know if he was playing like he was scared, just joking around. It was funny, but who's gonna do that, man? I mean, nowadays it's possible. You got crazy people that just do crazy things, but I ain't that crazy. You know, I'm crazy, but I ain't crazy hurt people type crazy, you know? Anyway, I might as well continue to walk while I'm doing this. But, yeah, rain gear, you know, it's important to have. And I've got a military poncho. I've got 2 woodland camo military ponchos from the 80s, and they still work. It's just they're a lot heavier than this, and if this works, this is waterproof nylon and everything. If this works and it doesn't get me soaked underneath it, then why carry the heavier stuff? Normally I don't worry about weight, you know, how much something weighs and all that, but see, this one's not humming. That one down there hums like crazy. This one doesn't hum. What was I saying? You're supposed to tell me, because I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, that's just like walking. I try to walk 2 miles every day. Well, if you start making excuses, it's cold, it's raining, it's too dark, it's too bright, there's too many people, there's not enough people, you know, whatever your excuses are, pretty soon you don't do it. So for me, I have to make it a habit, a routine. I don't necessarily have to have a particular time that I'm walking, although that helps if you set up a regular time. but I do set up a distance, a minimum distance that I need to walk every day, 2 miles. I could do it all in one burst, or I can do it in, you know, half and half stages if I have to. It's kind of slick down there. The car. But that's why I switched to a slingshot for the dogs now, because nobody's going to mistake a slingshot for a real firearm or anything like that. And you know, it's not paranoia to believe that, you know, if Joe Schmo thinks that even though it's got an orange tip on it, an airsoft gun is a real gun. A lot of cops don't get a whole lot of training, and in the heat of something, you're responding to a man with a gun call or suspicious person with a gun. If they see me walking around with that in my hand, they're not necessarily going to look at the barrel, the little orange tip. They're going to see he's got a pistol. He's walking around. If I make a mistake of taking that and aiming it towards them, they ain't gonna wait to see if it's an airsoft pellet or a BB gun or anything like that. I'm gonna get blasted. There's gonna be no freeze and all that other stuff. You know, you can't count on that. You're just gonna get blasted. And for what? Because you had something that looked like a gun. And that's not far-fetched, because people have been blasted for having a cell phone in their hand. It was shiny, it looked like a... Yeah, it's flat. It doesn't look anything like a gun. It's a cell phone. But that's the way it goes. Man, my hands are cold. I didn't put any gloves on. We were at 88 degrees Saturday, and now wintertime has returned. Yeah, it's a good test. It's shedding. It's shedding rain pretty well. And the lens has got a little bit of water on it. I'm going to go back in. That's enough. That's enough of a test. My hands are starting to get numb, cold, and mainly the body cam is getting wet. I don't want it to get soaked. Whew. Attacked by a broom. I came in the house and I was attacked by a broom. Yeah, this is the one I had. So when I pulled it out, I went like this. This is how I was showing it to him. And the guy freaked out. And so this one has that issue with the magazine. So when I dumped it out, this time I only dumped one BB. But I showed him, it's empty. You know, it's not real. It's an airsoft gun. It's not real. See the orange tip? But I didn't even point the orange tip at him. Anyway, that's what happened with that. Good thing I didn't have this with me. This one is even darker looking, but that's the one I had. So now I learned my lesson, because they're not that effective. You only get one shot because these are manual. So I might as well hit them with something like this, you know. Now when I need a loose BB, I can't find one. Instead of these little tiny 6mm, you know. This is glass, like marble, and I don't know how many feet per second you can get out of a slingshot, but I put new bands on it and everything else. And you're only going to get one shot, make it count. I'm pretty good with the slingshot. It should rain pretty well. And the lens has got a little bit of water on it. I'm going to go back in. That's enough. That's enough of a test. My hands are starting to get numb, cold, and mainly the body cam is getting wet. I don't want it to get soaked. Whew. Attacked by a broom. I came in the house and I was attacked by a broom. Yeah, this is the one I had. So when I pulled it out, I went like this. This is how I was showing it to him. And the guy freaked out. And so this one has that issue with the magazine. So when I dumped it out, this time I only dumped one BB. But I showed him, it's empty. You know, it's not real. It's an airsoft gun. It's not real. See the orange tip? But I didn't even point the orange tip at him. Anyway, that's what happened with that. Good thing I didn't have this with me. This one is even darker looking, but that's the one I had. So now I learned my lesson, because they're not that effective. You only get one shot because these are manual. So I might as well hit them with something like this, you know. Now when I need a loose BB, I can't find one. Instead of these little tiny 6mm, you know. This is glass, like marble, and I don't know how many feet per second you can get out of a slingshot, but I put new bands on it and everything else. And you're only going to get one shot, make it count. I'm pretty good with the slingshot. The distance I get up close and I make sure I'm going to hit him in the butt or something like that. I don't aim for the head or the body unless they're coming at me, you know, trying to attack me, and then anything goes. But yeah, that's what I'm going to use from now on if I see the dog come through. And like I put on that last video, I saw one. Let me get this thing off for a second. Take off my poncho. Here, you can look. You can watch TV while I'm doing it. Okay, Venus? Okay, Steve! Let me get this up like that so you can see. I don't know if you can see. You're probably going to see just wool. It's too close. It can't focus. I don't know. Take that metal neck thing off. And now I'll take the poncho off. put it on the door so you can see it. Just your basic poncho. Now we get this back. We'll do a little review here. Alright, so yeah, that's just it. It's got a drawstring thing on there. You got metal snaps, you know, on the side that you can snap to make them armholes, which I did, and that's it. No pockets on the outside. You've got grommets, you know, where you need them, and what else can I say? I'm gonna put that in the bathroom and the shower. But that came in this. That came in that, very neatly packed, very well stuffed. And the thing you need to do on these, whenever you see something like that, is look at how it's folded when you take it, as you're taking it out, because you're probably never going to get it back in again. And it had a drawstring toggle. Turn on the light here. It had this drawstring toggle and a captive thing, and I made the mistake of pulling it, you know, both loops, both ends were going through here, and I pulled one end out, and then I made the fatal mistake of pulling on that pulling it out of the little channel, so now it wouldn't close. Then I tried to stuff it in, and it wouldn't stuff in all the way. There was a little flap. Well, in the military, you just take this and you just stuff it into the hood. You just take all the material and stuff in the hood, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put it in that stuff sack. So there we go. That's a little poncho adventure, rain adventure, walking around. And so far, I'm dry, except for my feet and my hands, which were not protected by it. So it's a good deal.